What's going on, you guys? Slim here with a new video today, and yes, I'm here to jump on the bandwagon and talk about remote duels. If you guys are new here, consider subscribing, hit that notification bell. You guys will be notified whenever I upload. You'll also be notified whenever I stream over on Twitch. Links in the description. You guys already know what it is. So I had to talk about this because at first I thought this was absolutely crazy, and not in a good way. I thought this was just kind of like a cop-out way to, bring Yu-Gi-Oh to us when, we haven't really had the ability to play in real life. We don't know how much longer this is going to last in the world with the coronavirus and everything, but we do know that, they made an announcement. Tournaments are suspended through May 31st. We should know better than that they're suspended longer than that. They're suspended, there's no nationals, there's no worlds, so there's no real main events. The closest thing that would come back would be locals, and with that said, that means that we're just not going to have any real events. So I thought about it, and at first, yesterday on my stream that I did yesterday, I talked about how I didn't like this idea. I thought that it was just kind of, it was going to fall by the wayside. It was not going to be a good idea. And then sure enough, the Discord server did end up closing or crashing. I don't know what ended up happening, but then I took some time, I watched a couple videos that people made, and I really thought about it, and I said, you know what, there are both pros and cons to this, and I want to talk about it because at first I was wrong. I thought that this was a bad idea until I really thought about it, and this is the things I've come up with. So if you're new to this, I'll discuss it real quick, what remote dueling is, and then we're going to talk about what I personally think are the pros and cons. So remote dueling, so you can just go here and you can check this out on it's over on the UK website, and it basically just tells you in order to remote duel you need a computer, your tablet, you need a webcam, you need all this stuff that we basically all have, and you need to be able to just kind of Skype duel your opponent. You're going to do it through this Discord server that they made, and it just tells you everything you need to know. You do Discord, you need a Discord account, and you're going to play with your physical cards, and you're going to do it like that. So it's pretty crazy, but I think at first I misjudged it, but here's all the ideas just on this page if you guys want to look it up and whatnot. It shows the guy playing his real physical cards and then just playing via webcam, via all that stuff. So the first pro and con I thought about this was, the first pro is that this actually helps out our local OTSs, and I completely disregarded this, and that is my mistake, and I apologize for that. This helps out our local OTS stores who unfortunately can't really stay open, obviously, with everything that's going on. They do have their occasional days that they open for you to pick up product and whatnot, but outside of that, they don't really stay open. So they're not making money, and the thing is, people don't think about this, but if your OTS isn't bringing in money, will they stay open? It's hard to say. I was watching Robbie's video on this, and he talked about how a lot of OTSs may not survive through this entire pandemic and be able to reopen when this all lifts. When you think about it, that really sucks. Think about it if you're someone that loves going to locals weekly, and think about if your locals gets taken away. This is a way to actually help your locals because this is actually set up with official OTS stores. That's one thing I forgot to mention, but it is through OTS stores, and it's important that you know whether your locals, as an OTS or not. They're the ones that give out the OTS packs. You guys should know how this works. You enter, you get your pack for entering, packs for winning, etc., store credit, depending on what it is. But I thought about this. The first pro is that this does help out the stores. This does bring money to them, and that in turn keeps your locals open, and I think that's extremely important. Now, another pro to this is that it lets you play with your physical cards, and damn it, I don't know about you, but I miss my physical cards. Just yesterday, I went in my backpack and grabbed my cards and shuffled them just because I missed them. I missed my physical cards, and any of you who love this game as much as I do know there is no substitution for the feel of your physical cards. It's your cards. You put your money into it. You did your trades for it. You did whatever it is, and those cards mean something to you. And I'll tell you right now, it felt so damn good to shuffle my deck again, and I love the idea that, this may seem gimmicky, but, you can actually play with your physical cards. So that I'm a huge advocate for. I think that that's fantastic. It's another pro to this is that you can play with your physical cards. You're helping out your OTS store. And another pro I thought about to this is that it will bring the community together, whether you like it or not. Now, we've been given a bad rap as far as the community, but to each his own. I think every community has its pros and cons. It has its good players, its bad players, it's good people, it's bad people. It's the internet. That's what it's going to be like. But I think at the end of the day, I think we're a pretty damn good community, and this would bring us together. We would play, with our local friends, that we're not able to physically visit or see, and we'd actually get to just play Yu-Gi-Oh! And you know what? Why do we go to locals? Because we love our game, and that is why we continue to play, and this would give us the best opportunity to do that. Now, I know people are going to say we could just play online. We could play online on EDO Pro, on Dueling Book, etc., etc. But there is still no substitute for the physical cards, and that is why I'm saying that I think that it's a huge pro that this is something they're trying to do. Another pro that I thought about when it came to this is that it's going to let you at least interact with people. Now, this is just a random pro, but I thought about it. It's like, okay, we've been in quarantine for a while. Sure, you can talk to your friends on the phone. Sure, you can text each other. Sure, you can play online like EDO Pro, Dueling Book, all that. But unless you're getting on Discord, unless you're getting on Skype, whatever it is, whatever you guys use. I'm an old man, so I use Skype for like ever. You really don't get to see your friends unless you're doing FaceTime, video chat, Zoom, all that. But this time you actually get to see your friends. You get to actually play Yu-Gi-Oh! And I think it's just a huge plus. So I'm actually all for it. I think there are a lot more pros to this than I originally thought. And I was going to say one more pro, and I think it's that maybe it will be the final push that we need for Konami to actually make us a real online simulator. One that is sanctioned by them, one that maybe you pay monthly for, but one that they actually promote and will actually do tournaments in, and it'll be something that maybe we'll actually get to see more of in the future. So those are all the pros. Now, for all the pros, of course, it's got to come with cons. That's what the whole point of the video, the pros and cons. The cons are pretty simple. Number one, it could promote cheating. This is based on the honesty system, but it could promote cheating. Say you play against someone you don't really know. How are you supposed to know that they didn't have a certain hand trap? How are you supposed to know they opened so broken? How are you supposed to know all these possible things? How are you supposed to know all that? You don't. You kind of go by the honor system. And that's the same thing, is you need to be an honorable person and at least, be honest with how you open, be honest with your plays, be honest with the cards you play, etc., etc. I shouldn't have to, kind of regulate this, but that's just what it is. It can promote cheating, and that could be a problem. Another con to this is that there could be some issues with the Discord. There could be a lot of, issues with whether it's going to work or not. And that could be a problem. Like, there might be connection issues. Like, people might not be able to afford a webcam or be able to afford a computer for that matter. Robbie brought up a good point. If a lot of people can't afford the cards, how are they supposed to afford like a computer or any of that stuff? So I think that can be some real problems. But, that just comes down to whether you have the tools to do this or not, if you have the resources to do this or not. Another con could be that, I think this is the biggest con, like in my opinion, in addition to cheating on the same level, is that, yes, you get to shuffle your deck. You get to 8-pile, whatever, pile shuffle, whatever kind of shuffle you do, but your opponent does not get to cut your deck. Now, I know there's the huge argument that when my opponent cuts my deck, that's when they stack it, etc., etc. I believe that to an extent, depending on who you're playing against, but the fact that your opponent doesn't get to cut your deck, that can be a problem, because who's to stop you from stacking the cards you need at the top of the deck for your draw or something like that? Like, there's a lot of issues that can come across from that, but again, it comes down to the honor system. So be an honorable person, and if you lose, you lose. Like, it's Yu-Gi-Oh! We win and lose all the time, so I don't think it's a bad thing. And I guess another con is that if this doesn't work out, it could end up hurting the OTS stores, and that could be a problem, but I think more so than ever, it would actually help them, and I think that's what we really need right now. We need a way to play Yu-Gi-Oh! We need a way to play with our physical cards, and let's at least tip our hats off to Konami for making something like this, making it so that, okay, it's not perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but it lets us actually play the game we love with the cards that we've bought, invested in. And I think right now we should actually be more grateful than be so judgmental. Like, sure, the Discord crashed. Sure, it was an absolute mess. But you know what? They just started. It started yesterday, and it went down yesterday, and today is May 1st, and it literally just started. So I think we just need to give them time. I think we need to be a little more patient. We need to realize that, yes, they didn't give us everything that they wanted, but at least they're trying to help the players out. And that's one thing that I will admit that I was wrong. I think there are a lot of pros to this. Sure, there's cons, but I think that remote dueling could be something that, if done properly, if done, if given more time, it could be something that we could do for the time being. Y'all remember when we were kids and we used to play via Skype, we used to play via the phone? Well, this is the next closest thing. And you know what? I take it back. I'm actually for this. I want to see where this goes, and hopefully we see some progress. Hopefully we see some positivity come out of this. And like I said, at the end of the day, you get to play with your physical cards, and I just don't think it gets better than that. But that's my advice, you guys. There's this is the latest update for the interest. Due to technical difficulties, the server will be closing. Will allow, So basically, what ended up happening, the short version of this, if you want to read it, is that yes, they had to close it, but they're gonna reopen it. Give it time. But I think that if we actually all put our heads together and instead of criticizing this, we actually try to work with it, we actually try to give it a chance, I think we'll be pleasantly surprised at what we're able to accomplish. But those are my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comments below. Are you for remote dueling? Are you not for remote dueling? Like I said, there are cons to this, but there are still pros, and we still get to play with our physical cards, and I think that's the most important thing right now, especially during this pandemic. But I'm all for it. I'd like to know your thoughts in the comments below. Are you gonna try it out? Are you not gonna try it out? Are you gonna actually support it? Are you not? I think we need to remember our OTS stores, and this is the best thing that we can do in order to do that. But those are my thoughts, you guys. Let me know yours in the comments below. I'll have this in the description if you guys want to read it just to get a general idea of it. But that's what I think on remote dueling, and hopefully we'll see what happens in the future. But let me know what you guys think. I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching.